Disney World is in deep, deep trouble when it comes to audiences attending the theme parks, and we've got the data to prove it. Not only that, but Comcast is soaring high. As it turns out, we've been right all along in telling you that folks were waiting for Epic Universe to open before committing to going to Universal. And now, Disney may have a major Universal problem on their hands that they are not ready to fend off. We'll explain right now. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the happiest place on YouTube. It is the Pro Channel, and we're happy to have you with us. An honor and a responsibility we take each time we try to add value to your day. Today, we're talking about vacations. We're talking about vacationers. We're talking about Central Florida and the fact that people seem to be really interested in what Universal Studios Epic Universe is doing. Meanwhile, the House of Mouse could be looking rather vacant coming up in the next 2 years, even to the point that Universal could take the lead. A seismic shift in theme park industries? Well, that could be on the way. Folks, as we get underway, consider clicking that like button, and here we go. Over on Deadline, Epic Universe demand high ahead of May opening, Comcast says, as domestic theme park attendance to rally by next summer. This is by Jill Goldsmith, and I'm here to tell you, this is following right in line with what we told you was going to happen. We have repeatedly said that Universal Studios and their decline in attendance is not the same as the decline that Disney has been seeing, because Universal has a good reason for attendance to be in decline, and that is people are waiting until the big theme park opens to go to Universal. They don't want to go right now. They want to wait until next year. So they have a healthy decline. It's a strange thing, but it happens every time you have a huge expansion or new theme park that's about to open. Let's read, and then we'll find out how the market is reacting. Theme parks, both Universal and Disney, have seen a succession of softer quarters following a post-COVID surge. But NBC Universal parent Comcast sees that turning around by next summer. Oh, I'm shocked. I can't believe it. Disney, on the other hand, you'll notice, does not say the same. Lower attendance at domestic parks followed a pull forward of demand in 2022 and 2023, which were record years for the theme parks, as well as the new attraction pipeline, which is light this year, but set to jump by the second quarter of 2025. That's when we begin to lap this year, and Epic Universe opens, said Comcast President Mike Cavanaugh on a call with analysts after reporting its latest financials. The park will rack about $150 million in pre-opening costs split between the current fourth quarter and the first. We are seeing a great demand in early days since we announced opening day, he said. The media giant is putting together a marketing effort across its properties to increase awareness. The company's anticipated fourth Orlando park online May 22nd will have 5 new worlds and a massive hotel, with Comcast looking to create a week-long, and that's really important, destination just for Universal parks. It will be priced at a premium. Now, Jonas, you were over on Renegade Online this morning covering the Comcast earnings call. What are your thoughts on the estimations that Epic Universe is going to lift Comcast? Meanwhile, there is no anticipation that Disney World attendance is going to turn around anytime soon.
Well, we could always use Disney as a reference point here. Disney has basically stopped doing anything that upkeeps their theme parks, and it's continued to be a huge revenue generator for the company. They're basically giant cash machines. So when we talk about Epic Universe being, at least for a little while, the #1 theme park in the world, the most technologically advanced theme park in the world. And I thought that was puffery when they first said it, but now that I'm seeing more and more of what's coming into it, yeah. Super Nintendo World, the merchandising opportunities there alone are enough to capture the imagination of everyone below the age of 25. Dark Universe there to cultivate a property that is fully owned by Universal. Same with How to Train Your Dragon land there. They're just all these great merchandising ideas, and each one of these lands has their own food offerings that's going to be unique there. The food and beverage, the fact that you could just get people in, you could almost let people into these parks for free, and I'm sure they would still make a profit. Not to mention a tiny little franchise called Harry Potter. Not many people are talking about this one, is going into the top right corner of the map, and they're also going to be upgrading their wand technology. So all those wands that they've been selling in the park, all that butterbeer that they've been selling at the other park. They're going to be doing new versions of all of those, so more butterbeer sales. And Vash, what's our favorite statistic about butterbeer?
Oh, that's sold. I believe it's on track to sell over $250 million in terms of just sales from butterbeer alone come 2025 when Epic Universe actually opens. I mean, it's it's unbelievable how successful that one product is, and then you have to determine just how successful Harry Potter is and how much merch they've been moving from the various Harry Potter lands that have existed. Wanting to go, for the threefer makes a lot of sense. By the way, that Frankenstein that you see on the screen right there, over 800 pounds, 9 feet tall. Very impressive.
Hey, he's been working out. He's been working out.
That's true.
Meanwhile,
That's
Disney
true.
still
Got the
doesn't
weight
work
down.
out.
That's
Right,
interesting about butterbeer making money, because at Busch Gardens they have to give the beer away for free.
That's very true. I have a lot of friends who worked at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay.
I got there when they cut it down to only 4 or 5 free glasses of swill.
Yeah, it's they couldn't give that stuff away to the cast members there, the employees there. But basically, Epic Universe is going to be a cash printer when it comes out, and it looks like it's going to start eating into Disney's business. They're talking about it as a full week destination, which instead of a let's also go to Universal, it will now be we're going for Epic Universe. They're currently selling tickets to the point where if you want to get into Epic Universe and you want to be sure to get into Epic Universe, you need to buy 2 to 3 days at the other parks, which are Volcano Bay, Universal Studios, and Islands of Adventure. So they're doing a lot to try to get you there for a full week, and they have the place to grow. So even if this is a threat to Disney, the real threat is the fact that they have expansion pads, they have enough space for an entire new theme park, and of course they've got whatever's going on over there in Fresno, whatever's going on over there in Las Vegas, and the Great Britain Universal Park that is around the bend pending approval.
Well, the other thing, too, is that Universal is making a play to have it difficult for people to do both. And so you could see a future where, at the most, families are saying, well, we'll stop by Magic Kingdom one day, but, we've got to do this package deal. Let me show you guys this real quick. Well, that's wrong one. Let me go to mine real fast. That's pretty scary. This might be scarier for Disney, and that is that the market is reacting. This is the 1 month we have here, and the reaction has been swift and strong. You can see that Comcast stock is going up dramatically. We've got a 4% increase over the past month. And some people might say, well, now, wait a minute, Pro, wait a minute. Be fair. What about Disney? Well, Disney is essentially stagnant. So they have a 0% change. Basically, it's a 0.01, and it was positive. Now we're red. So we're basically exactly where we were. But Disney has seen an elevation because Disney was dropping, and they have stopped the drop. And now it's picked back up, and it's somewhere around 96. And I don't want to go too deeply into this theory, but I would just say that people should consider that perhaps the market is now baking into the cake that Gorman is stepping in to pick the CEO, and they may like that. They may like the idea that they're going to get away from Iger, because just a reminder, the Disney stock was about $200 at its peak under Bob Chapek. 96 is nothing to be excited about, but I think that we're starting to see some optimism in the market that Iger is not going to be the one who continues to lead forth the House of Mouse. So that's my thought on it in terms of the reaction to the theme park news with the market. Panel, any other thoughts before we move along?
I just think that what Universal's doing with the opening of Epic Universe is brilliant, because for so long, the mentality of vacationers in Orlando has been, I'm going to go do a week at Disney, and I'll take a day or two out to go do Universal, or I could do Universal and Islands of Adventure in a day, and I'll just one day. We'll Uber over there, and then that'll be the problem. By making it a 3 to 5 day pass only for Epic Universe, you are cutting the week in half. You are essentially cutting Disney's market share in half, in theory. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens, and I wonder if Big Bob is sticking to his declaration that nothing that Universal's doing is giving us any anxiety.
Well, it doesn't give him any anxiety. He only owns he already owns a massive yacht. Plus, he can count on everybody's 401k distributions hitting the market every other Thursday or Friday, causing an artificial spike in the stock. He should be concerned. They're going to lose, and I'm going to keep adjusting upwards my estimation. They're going to lose 30% market share in the first full year that this is open. Because if they're not afraid now, they certainly will be, because they have nothing new to offer, and they're letting everything they own get run into the ground, and it shows. Not to mention the uninspired Polynesian edition and all the other uninspired DVC towers that they're going to continue to try to sell with little new offerings. Guess what, folks? That real estate investment that you may think you're making into DVC at the end of the day may not have as much value as you think, considering there are less opportunities and less pluses in your life when it comes to acquiring those things. Because at the same time that you lost all the wonderful perks of going on a Disney vacation in Disney World, such as Magical Express, etc., things we've talked about hundreds of times, you're losing those as a DVC guest too. So your value is rapidly being stripped out of every dollar that you spend at Disney World.
Hey, Culture, can I throw in there? Have you considered the $100 DVC only guest membership? Is that selling those back to you for $100 a year, or is it $100 a month?
I can't even begin to tell you. Because here's you want to find out an interesting thing, Jonas?
Mm-hmm. Always.
I don't care. I care so little about Disney now. And that's saying a lot for me and from, and my family, and specifically for many reasons, but I don't care anymore. Disney has managed to remove my unabated fandom from my bloodstream. I'm finding it harder to care.
Well, that's
an interesting.
Go ahead, Vash.
That's an interesting thing about DVC. Aren't those original contracts supposed to be coming up for potential renewal?
22.
22. Okay. So that's going to be an interesting thing to watch, right? What the cannibalization that might entail. We already know there's going to be cannibalization on Disney's end going to Universal, as Moffat Nathanson has pointed out. They're anticipating about 1 million guests that would have otherwise gone to Walt Disney World going to Epic Universe or its resorts and hotels that already exist instead. So that's going to be very interesting to watch there. I think, Culture, you might be onto something. In the first 4 years, 30%, it's not the realm of possibility. A lot of Universal's attractions and shows and so forth, they're brand new, whereas Disney is still trying to monetize largely the old. And unfortunately, they're trying to monetize those. And I think the wrong method, pushing people away instead of attracting them to their parks and resorts. So that's going to be interesting to watch.
And folks, let the credits roll for this one. Well, it is in the bank. We are done here. We're over and out. But before we go, there's one thing we must shout to you, and we do it in the kindest way possible. Folks, it would be such a pleasure if you could consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and that notification bell. Click it, stick it to the algorithms. You bet. Don't forget also, as you get ready to leave, drop a comment down below if you have not yet, for we would love to know what's on your mind. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, so waste not yours. Join a community dialogue. Folks, as we get ready to leave, we say to you, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and no matter what the world might do or what your station might be, up or down, you keep having fun.